Well, hello, everyone. I hope some people may come on a little bit later as I start this. I'm starting at 1. This is my Zoom meeting since we finished the first week. Try to go over some things that may be a little confusing the first week. Remember, everything we do in relationship to the assignment is in content. For instance, the syllabus and the schedule are in content. And when you go to My Lab Entrepreneurship and you open that, you'll see in here, you'll see My Lab Entrepreneurship. And from there, if you go in, you'll see that in there is My Lab Entrepreneurship Tests and Exams, which is where the chapter tests are and the final exam. So you need to go into that, into My Entrepreneurship Tests and Exams. Remember, the exams open up usually after Wednesday, and of course, the end dates for these are always 11:59 on Sunday. And also at the time, as you'll see here, also as we go down, we have each chapter. Each chapter has its own folder where the tests and the assignments will be, except for the final presentation and paper assignment. Now, it says here it's due on 4/20, but that's the last date that I will submit, I will grade these presentations. We will have in 2 weeks, we will have a Zoom meeting specifically on this, so you'll understand how do we do it. For now, you just need to know is that 4/20 date is the last day I will grade anything regarding these. So it's not that we're all due on the 20th. We'll talk about that in 2 weeks and how we set up everything's regarding that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a little time going over some of the important subjects that are in the PowerPoints for Chapter 2. Okay, so it's important to realize and understand Chapter 2 is very important because what we have in here is recognizing opportunities and generating ideas. Part of the process of relationship to entrepreneurship is being able to recognize opportunities and generate ideas. Okay, so what is an opportunity? Well, it's a favorable set of circumstances that you see or witness that creates a need for a new product, service, or business. Entrepreneurially, that's what we do. We look for a certain circumstance that allows us to think about, hey, new product or service or business related to that. Now, what is an opportunity? Different from an idea, an opportunity has 4 essential qualities. One, it has to be attractive. It has to be timely. It has to be durable, that will last. And you have to be able to anchor it in a product, service, or business that creates and adds value for a buyer or end user. So this is an opportunity, not an idea. These are the qualities we look for. Now, there's 3 ways to identify an opportunity. We'll spend a little bit of time on those. Observing trends, solving a problem, and finding gaps in the marketplace. So the first approach is observing trends. Now, we're constantly observing trends that occur externally to what we're doing. And what happens is we need to look at these and observe them to see that any trends, either positive or negative, will affect ability for you to create an opportunity. The most important trends we see in the macro trends, and they can be economic forces. Is the economy doing well? Is the economy doing poorly? Social forces, which includes the Facebook and other social ideas, and then technological advantages like AI and internet and other advances, and of course, political and regulatory changes. It's important that we be aware of these changes and recognize them. The second approach is we may solve a problem. Solving a problem identifies an opportunity, simply involves noticing a problem and finding a way to solve it. These problems can be pinpointed through observing the trends we talked about and through more simple means, such as intuition or chance or serendipity. Many companies have been started by people who have experienced a problem in their own lives and then realized that a solution to the problem represents a business opportunity. The third approach and the final approach is finding gaps in the marketplace. The third approach to identifying opportunities is to find a gap in the marketplace. A gap is often created when a product or service is needed by a specific group of people, but doesn't represent a real large enough market to be of interest to the mainstream retailers or manufacturers. So it's a niche market that you look at and say, you know what? I think there's an opportunity here that I could grow a market into. Now, the other thing we have to look at is important to recognize and understand when you proceed into this experience and process of starting up a business, that there are characteristics that tend to make some people better at recognizing opportunities than others. One is prior industry experience. A lot of people come from an industry and are able to locate and pick up an opportunity from their experience in the industry. Cognitive factors, we'll talk about those in a second. Those are specific factors internally that you have that you put in a better position for you to recognize opportunities in someone else. We already talked about the social networks and how important they are in relationship to opportunities that are available. And of course, being creative becomes very important. Now, we talk about the cognitive factors. Studies have shown that opportunity recognition may be an innate skill or a cognitive process. Some people believe that entrepreneurs have a sixth sense that allows them to see opportunities that others miss. A sixth sense is called entrepreneurial alertness, which is formally defined as the ability to notice things without engaging in deliberate search. You notice things, you think about them, you write them down, and you spend time on those later to see if in fact that works. Now, some of those develop, and some people have those innate cognitive factors that allow them to recognize key opportunities. Now, when we go back, although opportunities are found, a lot of times when dealing with trying to find opportunities, you spend a lot of time brainstorming. Now, we all know what brainstorming is, trying to find as many ideas that can be developed from a trend or a gap or solving a problem. You can also use focus groups. You can develop your own focus group by just asking people to sign up into various sites, various focus groups, and various internet groups. Or you can also use the standard library and internet research. Okay, so it's important to see and understand that brainstorming is key. The focus groups involve a group of people who are familiar with the topic that are brought together to respond to questions and are able to shed light on issues through give and take nature of group discussions. They work best as a follow-up to your brainstorming. When the general idea for a business has been formulated, you further refine them through focus groups as needed. And of course, library research is still available. The library is an excellent way through specific industry magazines, trade journals, or industry reports. Simply browsing through these issues of trade journals and reports allow you to spark new ideas. And of course, the internet becomes very important in relationship to having various sites available regarding to your library. And then, of course, other techniques is you can develop a customer advisory board. We have select people you know that are successful that will meet regularly with you to discuss needs, wants, and problems that may lead to new ideas. Another approach is if you're really interested in a subject and you develop an idea that turns into an opportunity, one of the things you might want to do is a day in the life of a specific business where employees of a company will spend a day with a customer. Or prior to doing that, you can go and ask an owner who's in the similar industry that you're interested in, and you can ask them, could I spend a week with you without pay, with the proviso that you are able to ask any question and you will get an honest reply. So a lot of time the ability is, and a owner of a business would do that for the free labor, and then you in turn get the ability to ask anything regarding the business. One of the things that I used to do when I was consulting, I would ask a successful business owner when I owned them, and I would say, if you had to do it over, what would you have done differently? And normally I'll get 5 or 6 key elements where they say, well, if I could have done it over, I would have done A, B, C, and D instead of how I did it. It's very key to you, and that is worth its weight in gold if you have the ability to do that. So that's the specifics of the majority of the specifics, highlights of the PowerPoints that are in this chapter. I hope at the beginning I got to show you an explanation of how the setup of the course is. If anybody has any additional questions regarding this, please email me. I'm fairly active. I look at my emails on a regular basis during the day, and I try to reply within 24 hours. Most of the times I do that. And most of the time I will try and grade everything by Wednesday, so you're not waiting for grades. So we will do this again in 2 weeks. We will have a discussion of the assignment regarding the presentation, how it's set up, and what the requirements are in order to do that, and explain the schedule and everything else. So I appreciate it. I will be copying this on a video, and tomorrow I will send it out to everybody. I hope everybody's doing well with this class. And please, if you have any problems, please let me know, and we will talk in 2 weeks about the project for the presentation. Take care. Continue to be successful. You're doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.